I want to talk content with you for a bit. So you talked about your like your history leading up to like you being a content creator on TikTok and Instagram. Do you have a preference on platform? Like, do you like TikTok more? There's very different content. Do you like TikTok more? Do you like Instagram more? Like, where do you feel like you show up more like authentically?
That's a tricky question. So if you were to ask me maybe like 6 months ago, I would say Instagram because for me, I feel like I can connect people with people like on like a more intimate level because on my stories I really post so much and my whole
Mm-hmm.
day, not just like not just like photos, like aesthetic photos of my day. Like I don't that's not how my stories go. It's just more like
I've been
videos
watching.
and me talking to stories and stuff. So I really connect with people on a different level on Instagram stories, I feel like. And then TikTok is just a lot more free. You can like shoot your shots, see what works, see what people
Mm-hmm.
like. And then I take what people like from there and I kind of like mix it in with the Instagram. So I've seen that like works pretty well for me.
Mm-hmm.
If I think that's like also a great tip as well, is TikTok's like a great place to kind of see what works for you and then transition that slowly into like Instagram because they're kind of like both like neck to neck right now for everybody.
I on the top of your TikTok right now, you have I think three pinned posts. One of them had like 17 million, maybe. The one of you like eating food and like throwing up
My
the heart. But that wasn't your hand. Those weren't your hands.
No, those are my boyfriend's hands.
Oh, like
So
was he behind you? He was behind
yeah,
you. Oh, I knew it looked kind of funky. Okay, that makes sense.
yes,
All right, I was
when you
wondering.
rewatch it, it'll be a hundred
Yeah.
times funnier now.
So that one went crazy viral. Did it go viral like right when you posted it? I know TikTok sometimes will it'll go viral like a day or two later. Like take me through
Yeah.
that moment when after you posted it.
Well, we posted it and I'm like, Juan, this is hilarious. Like, and then we posted it and it was slowly like doing well and well and well. I'm like, oh, we're definitely gonna hit like 10,000 likes. And then 10,000 hit and it was just like just skyrocketing. I was like, oh, this is really cool. So then we posted it on Instagram and it didn't do as well as TikTok. So it's really funny to see like the algorithms and how they
Yeah.
work. But yeah, it just did well. And I think it's super funny. And also kind of like you said, like a lot of people thought it was my hand. So they were like, oh, you know, said some other stuff. And I'm like, no, 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 you guys, this is my boyfriend's hand. So
Yeah,
it
it
kind
makes
of
sense
it's like
now.
that controversial like video where it's one or the other.
Do you feel like that helped you grow? Did that grow your following at all? Like, did that because that 17 million views is a lot of views. Like, did it change your page at all in terms of like people? Like, people probably still like that photo or like that video.
Yeah, I think it did. Well, like, and I also think it's important to also have like videos in your TikTok for people. Like, if a video does go viral, they can always like go on your page and be like, oh, she has other videos to follow. Because sometimes like a video will blow up and they'll go on the person's page and there's like no other video. So you're not inclined to follow them because there's nothing to follow up with.
Right. Okay. It's like almost like a taste of what you can expect if you follow.
Exactly.
I feel like there's not much of a need to follow people on TikTok though, as much as Instagram. Like I feel like people don't even like see. I've had people say like they don't follow people on TikTok, or like they do, like they don't even see that content any differently, like than they do if you just go on the app and your for you page just
Mhm.
pops up like random stuff that they think that you'll like. It's not necessarily always people that you follow though.
Well, correct. But I also think the people that you follow, like, and TikTok, like, picks up on that. And then they kind of like shoot more people that are similar to that. And then also, I'd
Okay.
love to go in like my following section and see all the people that I follow and like catch up and see what they posted.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. How much do you read your comments?
It's a great question. I skim. I see, honestly, I see pretty much everything. I have like an idea, but it never gets to me.
Yeah, I feel like overall though, very positive environment in your comments compared to some other people that I've
Oh, you
seen.
think so? Oh, good. That makes me feel good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's things I didn't see, but yeah, I think you have like a positive attitude. I don't think people. I mean, the haters are gonna hate, but like it's not. I've seen like people's TikToks, like people trying to cancel people out here.
I know. It is like a real thing, and I get it. I get why. I actually no. Not that I get the cancel culture because I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Every like little thing like someone will like get
From like 10
canceled
years
for.
ago.
Yeah, and I'm like, what's going on? I think people have kind of like lost touch with that a little bit. Unless something was
Yeah.
like absolutely crazy, then I understand like society, like if you want to do something. But yeah, I agree with you.
Well, I think on TikTok, people really feel like they know you more than Instagram. I think that's the biggest difference. It's like we did a collaboration with a TikToker, and her audience like was obsessed with, or was just obsessed with her. Like it was just so interesting to see, honestly, from our end, the amount of passion people had for this creator.
Oh, I love that.
And I don't think, and she's bigger on TikTok, and I think Instagram's a little bit different. It's more, curated. Whereas where TikTok, you're talking right to the camera. Like even that video with 17 million followers, 70 million views, like your face is like right there. And I feel like that sort of interaction, people feel like they like know you almost after watching your TikTok. Versus Instagram, it's not as close of a connection, I would say.
That's an interesting take. Agree to disagree. That's a really interesting take because I feel not that I feel the opposite, but I feel like you have more room to connect with people on a more personal level. Again, like on Instagram stories, for example. I think it's like a very underestimated platform, not just like Instagram feed, Instagram stories, where you can
Yeah.
like really get like have everybody know you and share more of like your day to day. Because TikTok,
Yeah.
like it's like if you do get ready with me, like you're kind of talking for like a minute and a half, and then it like if that, like a minute and a half, a minute, and you're just kind of like giving like the snippets of a day or like a get to know me or something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
but I think TikTok allows your personality to be more shown, if that makes more sense, where
For
you're like
sure.
being silly and you're doing like trending funny audios. But I think Instagram you can definitely get a lot more intimate.
Well, maybe you're the creator that sort of debunks this thought of mine, but because you do post a lot in stories. Also,
Yeah.
do you feel like you're in stories more or Instagram or like on your feed more on Instagram?
To be honest, I'm not much of a consumer. I probably spend about like 30 minutes total on social media, like scrolling or watching people's stories because it will take up my entire day if I
Yeah,
like
you gotta
watch
be
everyone.
careful.
Yeah, yeah. It's easy to like fall into it. I would say I'm more of a TikTok viewer than anything, but I think it's also important, like as a creator, you have to be like a consumer as well to like know what's going on, keep up with
For
everything.
sure. For
That gives me
sure.
a good amount of time for the day.
Yeah, last thing I'll say on Instagram, I just feel like even from the brand's perspective, I feel like when we interact with people, it's like over DM, it's over
Mhm.
stories, and then our Instagram feed is like curated, but it's not as there's not as much engagement on there as there is in like our stories or when we DM people or people DMing us. It's almost like a support. The Instagram DM I always say is almost like our like support channel. People will email DM us all the time. And I see it or like someone on the team sees it. So it's like really easy for us to kind of like communicate with people on there.
For sure. For a brand's
It's
perspective, I can see that. Like Instagram being more curated and then TikTok like being more like, you make those fun videos with like your team or something. I can 100% see that.
totally, totally. Yeah. I don't know how to deal with TikTok as a brand. I've been trying to figure it out for like a year now. I've been like, we do different things. We have a small team. So it's like usually me or like an intern creating the content, but it's like some brands are just ripping on TikTok. They're like TikTok brands. Like I think of like Poppy. It's a TikTok
Uh-huh.
brand.
Are they?
But I mean, basically, like if you go on there at TikTok, they have millions of followers. The founder is like on there all the time, and she does an amazing job. It's just like, I don't know. I'm like, that's not me. That's like not my vibe. I don't know. I'll never be able to do that. If that makes sense. I'm
And you
also
don't
like a
have,
little bit older.
yeah. You don't
You
have to
know,
do that
you just gotta do what works.
for sure. Think what feels like
Um,
more authentic to you.
exactly. Yeah, you can't be inauthentic on TikTok. You'll get called out real quick, and also just
Mhm.
exposed.